we have a very special guest today in our Zoom studio. Right now, we have Johnny Stimson in the studio right now. Hello, hello, hello.
What's
Hey,
up?
what's up? I mean,
Yo,
we're
man.
good. We're good. Are you healthy though? Because I saw you were like kidnapped by this AI and robots, you know?
Dude, things have been honestly so crazy, but I just posted an update. Sadly, I had to
Okay.
defeat the I had to defeat him, and thankfully I'm okay. I'm alive. I'm doing fine, you know.
All right, all right, all right. That's perfect. That's perfect. I was just looking at your Instagram, and you said that last week that happened. I was like, whoa, robots are taking
Dude.
over the world. Do you think before we start the interview, do you think robots is going to take your job as a musician?
Dude, you know what? They're gonna try, but I'm just gonna keep trying to write songs out of my heart because I don't think you can replace that. You know, there's something about like the human experience. I don't know, but I am amazed actually by all this chat GPT. Maybe they're taking over like a little bit, you know?
Okay, okay, yeah, man. That's very reassuring. That people musicians still want to make music from the heart. Now,
I hope so, yeah.
uh, how's Jakarta been treating you, man? This second time in Jakarta.
You know what? I've actually been a few times. I love this city so much. But truth be told, I'm sitting right now in my studio in Texas
Okay,
because I leave in like a couple hours for the airport, and
okay,
I'm
okay.
packing my bag. I'm about ready to get to Jakarta. I'm about ready to get there and get a big coffee and be ready to go.
Nice. Okay, okay, okay.
Yeah,
So, going into your music, definitely, a lot of people reference you as like having a lot of genres in it.
yeah,
Uh, where do you get your reference from in like in your music?
man. I appreciate you even saying that because I like a lot of different types of music, and the more music that I write in my life, I feel like it helps me open up and appreciate different styles more. Like I was not into country music or hip hop really growing up, but
Mm-hmm.
over the time of like writing music, it starts to dawn on me like people put their whole lives and selves into this. So even if it's a different genre than me, I should try to hear it and appreciate it. And so over time, I've like grown to love a lot of different type of music, and I think that comes
Mm-hmm.
out in the way that I write. So like growing up, I listened to a ton of stuff from like the 60s and 70s, like so much Beatles and like Michael Jackson and
Okay.
Wind and Fire. That's it. And then I started like in college and after like, listening to some more bands on the radio and starting to think about like what's top 40. I didn't think I liked pop music until I
Yep.
realized what pop music is, and I love it. And so I
Sweet.
appreciate you saying that because I like to incorporate a lot of different genres and styles into the stuff that I write.
Nice, nice. So let's talk about this AI generated music video that you got for your best day ever. And look at me now. You know,
Yeah.
talk about best day ever first because I love that song, man. It's a good mood for me, man. It gets me through the day.
Thank you so much, man. I'm so glad you like it. I really, two friends and I actually wrote that song. Like, there's no
Mm.
AI. That's all. I'm just kind of
Yeah,
like doing this very silly joke, for Instagram. But
yeah,
like, that whole song kind of came about just as like a funny thing. It's like, oh, we're gonna have the best day ever in this little funky bass line. And we
yeah.
wrote that one really quick. And it's just been one that like I didn't think I was gonna release it until like the friend of mine that I wrote it with, he was playing it for his niece and nephew, and it became their
Mm.
favorite song. And then I played it on tour and everybody seemed to have a fun time. And I was like, why don't I? I should just release this, And
Yeah.
over time, it's kind of really grown on me. And I'm really thankful to hear you say that because it's one that gets stuck in my head. And if I'm having a rough day, I try to like sing it a little bit. It's gonna be the
Yeah.
best day ever. It kind of
Yeah.
makes me feel good.
Yeah. Do you make music for yourself too?
Yeah, man. I think the older I get, the more it becomes like a journal. Like at first, I was trying to write music for like, what will people want to hear? And what's
Yeah.
cool out there? How can I sound cool? And the
Yeah.
the older I get, the more I just feel like, well, this last year I was going through a lot of ups and downs, so I want to write about that to kind of deal with it internally for
Yeah.
myself. And so sometimes it's just about trying to share my experience, maybe in a way that I hope somebody else could relate to, and ultimately I hope that there's like a joyful undertone and something hopeful, like even on the sad songs that there's maybe that kind of like glimmer of light at the end of the tunnel a little bit.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going for.
I love it. I love it. I love it. How
Dang,
about what's your best day ever? What was your best day ever as of right now?
dude, my best day ever as of right now. it's kind of hard to beat the day that I had today, honestly. Like it was kind of a
Really?
crazy one because we had to go to the passport office and like do a couple things like that. But I woke up, it was amazing weather outside. I got to wake
Mhm.
up and get my dog out of the bed and like bring her into the bed with my wife. Then I went for a jog in the nice weather, had a great coffee, and I got to spend this whole evening like with my family, seeing my niece and nephew and just being around people that I love. Before tomorrow, I leave on a trip to go live my dreams, which is getting to come sing for my friends and awesome people that I know in Jakarta. Like, I cannot imagine a more sweet day. And I kind of think the best day ever in itself, it's about like appreciating kind of the little things, like you got the
Yeah.
bacon, you like to eat it for your breakfast or whatever. And I think that kind of stuff can add up over time. And it's about like the joy that comes out of your heart when every day is the best day ever.
Wow. Yeah, man. I guess the best day ever is, what we're having right now. Just a
Yeah,
conversation, these small little things that just keeps us, in tune. I love
totally.
it.
Thanks.
That's that,
Yeah.
that's sweet. Okay. What made you get into music though?
Man, I just always loved music. My dad is like really musical. We were just hanging out eating dinner together and
Hmm.
he kind of like noticed that I was getting into the Beatles in high school. And I
Hmm.
was like, I'm really liking this album. And he's a great piano player, my dad. So he would sit at the piano with me and say, like, listen how this chord works. And so basically we
Hmm.
went through all the Beatles albums and I basically learned every Beatles song and kind of how the music worked.
Yo.
That was like what opened me up to
Yeah.
music. And so that really was like the introduction and like my favorite memories. Some of my best memories of my life are sitting at the piano with
Yeah.
my dad playing Beatles songs. But that's where all the melody and everything like kind of sparked interest for me. And then as soon as I was learning my guitar, a few chords, a few things on the piano, I was like, I want to finish learning all these Beatles songs, but I want to write. Like I always have had this inspiration and passion to just like write the feelings that I have. And
Beautiful.
yeah, I kind of can't believe that I'm sitting here talking to you and you're asking me about my music, like, and I'm going to travel around the world to play my music. I still kind of can't believe that I get to do this.
I love your optimism, man. I love how like thankful you are for the world. I think that's infectious.
Thanks.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Thanks.
So you're traveling the world. You're coming to Indonesia, in a couple of hours. You've been here. So you've been here a couple of times, right?
Yeah, like 5 times now, I think I want to
Oh
say.
man, that's crazy.
I know,
How's the crowd here?
so cool, man. Because I would have never guessed in a million years if you said like Johnny, what's your career gonna look like or something. I
Yeah.
would have never guessed that like more people may catch on to my music in Indonesia specifically first. And it all kind of started like I don't know if you ever heard that, but like Raisa, the singer, she used my
Yeah.
song Honey for like her wedding video.
True.
And it was
Yep.
like
Yep. Yep.
this really crazy moment. It was on the radio all the time back then. And it was like, for me, I was just seeing it on Instagram, like, oh my gosh, people are listening to my song. Maybe I
Yeah.
can go play. And so I didn't know if I would ever get to visit. And I found myself, like playing for big crowds of people singing along with me,
Yep.
for my
Yep.
first few trips. And it's just been like one of the biggest, greatest joys of my life so far, just to get to come and perform for people that want to listen to me sing. So I would say top crowds in the world that I've ever visited because this is all it's kind of new for me, and I feel like
Nice.
spending time in Jakarta has been really like a dream come true. And I know you probably hear my optimism and thankfulness, but
Yeah.
it's really true in this direct sense of like people in Jakarta were like a big part of kind of like revitalizing kind of my enthusiasm for music.
Hmm.
And it gave
Hmm.
me this boost of encouragement. Like I remember coming and playing for like 3,000 people who loved that song Honeymoon. And it really
Yeah.
encouraged me in a way that I was like, you know what? I should keep doing this. I can keep pushing. So to me, it'll always be like a special place just in the world. And I have great friends in Jakarta too. So I'm stoked to come and visit.
Oh, sweet man. Give me like
Yeah.
three words that give me three words that's right now that could I guess picture like there are three words that can you can describe what you're feeling right now with music, with life. Can you give me three words that describe that?
Okay. Okay. That's a kind of a hard one. There's a
It
lot of words
is.
that come to
It
mind.
is hard.
The first one that comes to mind, and I think I said this word earlier, is joyful. Like
Yeah.
I will tell you for sure that like there are seasons in my life where I'm not writing the best day ever kind of
Mhm.
song every day, and there's lots of ups and downs, and I want to try to celebrate the good moments and the tough moments through the art that I make. But right now, I'm feeling extremely joyful, and I really did mean it. Like this was a great day. I had an
Mm,
amazing, beautiful day, and I get to come and live out my dream tomorrow. So the first one is joyful. I would say the second one is early because like in this joyful moment, I'm waking up earlier than usual, and I'm like
mm.
getting to work because I'm working on my album right now. So and
Yeah.
I'm actually
Okay.
work on some of it in Bali. I'm staying a little after this show. I'm going to Bali to like
Okay.
work on some of that and
Hmm.
like a little mobile studio. And I'm planning to get up early and be like working and grinding. So first
Mm.
one is joyful. Second word is early, and the third word I think is drums because I've been playing the drums a lot, and that seems.
Oh, yeah. Okay, okay, okay. That's love, man. So new album
Yeah.
on the way, yeah?
Yes,
You're gonna
sir.
be actually writing in Indonesia, yeah?
Yeah, man. And I've written almost all of it. There's a few little pieces left to write, and even some that I may be working on in Bali. And I'm bringing like a whole mobile like recording setup and my microphone stuff, and just like really excited to see the views. I went to Bali for a couple days last
Mhm.
summer, and it was so beautiful. And I was felt so inspired that I thought like, well, if I'm already going to be in Jakarta, I should go over there and spend a little time working on some music. You know?
That's perfect, man. You know what?
Yeah.
I'm gonna wish you a great time in Jakarta, a great crowd. Definitely they're gonna love
Thank
you in the concerts. And of course, I'll see you there, man. I think you're gonna be performing on Saturday
the
or Sunday.
18th. I
Yeah, the
think it's the 18th.
18th, right?
Saturday. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm gonna be there as well. So definitely
You're
we
coming
gotta
with
catch up, man. Yeah, yeah,
awesome.
yeah. All right,
Dude,
man.
thank you for this conversation. I sincerely like I enjoyed talking to you and I'm looking forward to meeting in real life too. You're a cool guy.
Big, big, big. You too, man. Johnny, thank you
Yeah.
so much for your time. And I will
Thank
see you
you.
later. I'll see you in Jakarta, okay?
Sounds great. Can't wait to be there.
All right, man. Peace.